Okay, the point of this video is to provide a basic idea of how to create your own Google site, as well as how to work with the Google site once you have it up and going. First thing, I recommend that when you're using Google products, Google Docs, Google Sites, anything, that you use Chrome as a browser. It'll work better. And you should sign in with your Gmail account, or for example, I have a school account that I'm using through my school district, and I'm signing in. And then across the top I can get my Google Docs, my sites, mail, things like such. Okay. Now I have several sites that I've kind of played around with, including my own website. So any site you create, you'll have all of your sites here when you click on the sites part. But we want to create a new one. So if I hit create, now when I create, I can do one of two things. One, I can start with just a blank template, which is what we're going to do, because I think there's more learning that takes place for just the sake of kind of playing around with this. But if you're actually creating a site and don't want to start from scratch, a lot of times you can go to the gallery and find something that'll fit your needs that you can kind of modify from there. So for example, this is my school district. There's not a whole lot of templates that people have created, but if I just go on the public, there's thousands and thousands. So if I go to schools and ed, I actually created some myself, and if I typed in kind of the beginning of what I called them, I find that there's 3 templates that I actually already created that people could use and kind of modify from there. So for the sake of today though, we're going to start with a blank template. We want a name, so I'm just going to call this sample student seminar site. So this is, we'll call this a sample site for students who are enrolled in different seminars at the school. I want to pick a theme, and I'm not going to get caught up on what theme. There's lots of different themes you could go, so I'm just going to pick one. I think I'll pick the smoke. And more options. I can list a category, so if anyone's looking for this site, so I'm going to call this an education site. It's a student seminar template, we'll call it. And then I hit create, and it's going to start me making my site. So, okay, and there it is. Now it's very plain Jane right now, and this is called your landing site. So basically, whenever you open up your web page, you're going to land on a site, which you can kind of choose later. But right now, it just says home. There's 3 buttons at the top right. The share actually is the 4th, but these 3 buttons we're going to look at. This one right here is how I edit my page. This one is how I'll create new pages, and this one, if I click down, gives me lots of different things on how I manage the site in general. Some of which we'll talk about. Others is stuff that really you don't need to get started on this. So first of all, let's just edit this page. So if I click on the edit button, that's going to bring up these 4 buttons, which are very important, as well as kind of a text box editor. When I like to really think about how do I want to lay this out. So let's say that this is the student's landing page, so maybe it's a student biography. So that's what I'm going to call it. And the layout, I don't like that. I think I'm going to go with a 2-column layout. And so perhaps in this first column, students would describe themselves. And maybe here they enter a photo. Now, to enter a photo, I don't really have any photos of students right now, but what I could do is I could go to this insert button. And this insert button you're going to see lets you to insert all kinds of different things, images and links, and as well as Google Docs themselves. Videos, you can link to YouTube. So I'm just going to go to image, and I'm going to choose a file from my computer, and I think I'm just going to pull something, any picture I have. Here's a picture I took while I was in Ghana. And then you notice there's a photo kind of editor here. I can kind of make it small or make it large. I can put it one way or the other. I could do this. So that's stuff that you could play around with on your own. Okay. Oh, I accidentally deleted it, so I'm going to insert that one more time. And if I go down real quick, find my picture, hit OK, and go medium, and I'm good. Okay. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So don't forget to hit save. You don't want to enter the site. So that's kind of what it looked like to your everyday user. Now, on the left, you find your edit bar. And so right now, I only have one page in my site, and I want to make some more pages. So what I'm going to do is go to this button and create a new page. So my new page, we're going to call this the seminar page. Okay. So we'll call it Seminar 1. Now when you're creating a new page, the first thing you do is you name it, and the second thing is this right here. Now there's actually a number of different options. One is kind of like if you want an opening page. I'm going to stay away from that. You can choose a web page, an announcement page, a file cabinet, which is basically just kind of a way of storing documents, as well as a list, which is a little bit more advanced. So I'm just going to keep this one as a general web page. And something very important is this button right here. Excuse me, down here. They give you two options. It says you can put the page at the top level, or you can put the page under student biography, the first page. Now, for what I want to do, I don't want to make a sub-page to student biography. I want this page to be of equal hierarchy than the student biography page. So I'm going to keep it with the setting and put page at top level. That just means that hierarchical in the construction of this site, student biography and Seminar 1 page will be at the same level. If I wanted this to be a sub-page, then I could click on here, and then this page would actually link from my student biography page. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create. And notice when you create a new page, the text box editor automatically comes up. So let's just make a slightly different layout. Let's make that a 3-column layout, something like this. And maybe, let's see, Seminar 1, let's call it something. Let's call it, who am I? Maybe it's seminar about self-discovery. My likes, my dislikes, my maybes. I don't know, just kind of defining some things, and then you could also do some writing here and there. Okay. So that would be how you create a new page, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Okay. So now I have 2 pages. Now, for the sake of this, I'm going to go ahead and stop part 1 of the video here to keep them kind of short. What I recommend is you start your own and start playing around. Just get started and then make a web page, and then go on and watch part 2 of this video, which will continue on.